Yo, yo, yo. Welcome to episode four. Four, fellas? We getting it going. This is the Prescott episode. Hey, look at that. This is the Prescott episode of The Basement. Welcome to episode four, family. You're here with your boy D, Nick, Alex. How y'all boys doing, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good about the Dak episode. Let's get to it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Four.
Feeling good.
Cacho.
And two
Good,
weeks from the
man.
draft, exactly, too. So
Exactly 2 weeks, and we thinking we want to. I want to start getting some fan interaction here soon. We kind of talked about it, but we're gonna have some more discussion. We may go live if that's something y'all would like, comment in the comments. But I'm thinking maybe we can go live, especially when the Cowboys pick. Now, I will tell y'all I'm on the Fire Stick, so I'm about 2 minutes behind live TV. So it's gonna be a little heartbreaking for me to get the pick before the Goodell go out there, but I'll do it for y'all. So let's see if everybody's cool with that. We may go the whole first round. Might go whole first round. We may go at least the 20s or something like that. We'll try to get on live and chop it up a little bit. But yeah, man, great to be here with y'all boys, man. Y'all know the vibes. I'm rocking the
yes,
T
sir.
Mac today. Young Mac, the young Mac. You know what I mean? My boy, I got the
Mm.
2-1 on. Nick, what your gear, man? What you got? Playing Jane
Man,
today?
I ain't got nothing. Mid Atlantic
Hey,
showcase, nothing.
hey, 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 that's yours.
Hey, for sure.
That's yours. That's fact. That's respect. That's big respect. So we on episode four, so we might as well talk about number four that wears the star on his helmet, Rain Dakota Prescott, my guy. The guy is to many. So fellas, let's start with a Dak conversation. I think there's a lot of Dak discourse that's been going on here for since 2016, but definitely in the last 8 or 9 months here with him leading the league in picks. What was it? 16 picks, 17 picks,
15 in the regular season.
and
Yep.
then picking the playoffs. Yeah.
Yeah.
So people, there's been a lot of discourse about is Dak overrated? Was he the problem? Has he been the problem? I'm gonna just throw a few things out there. I think we've been the number one offense in the league for the last 2 years. If you want to go back to 2020, we probably have led the league in points per game for 3 years in a row with Dak on the
Right.
field. Um, but at the same time, you have people that could easily say that Dak's regressed tremendously in 21. He came back from the foot injury or the leg injury, excuse me. And then even last year that, when he got there, he threw 15 picks in 11 games. Um, so for me, and I just kind of lead off here, I say Dak is underrated. I say Dak is underrated because his ability to lead this team and be the leader of this team for the last 6, 7 years has been undeniable. I think for what we need as a team, we need to surround him with more protection. I think I had a great point last podcast, and if we can get that line in front of him again, we may see 2016 Prescott because when he has a clean pocket, he's been one of the better throwers in the NFL to this point. Um, so I want to lead this conversation from you guys' current stance on Dak, and then we'll address the public's kind of perception of what Dak is at this point.
I'll let you go ahead, Nick.
Oh yeah. So I think it was good. I jotted down some notes knowing that we was going into this conversation. Um, I I, I want to start by saying Dak is a franchise quarterback. Like no question. Like that's just no question.
Absolutely.
Like and I don't even care to like debate that. Is he elite? No, Dak is not an elite quarterback. Like that. That's fine though. You don't need an elite quarterback. But
Okay.
I'm very picky who I call elite. So when I think of elite, I think of Mahomes, and in the past Rodgers. Because right now, to me, the only elite quarterback is Mahomes. So I'll just say that.
Okay. Right.
So
Nice.
we'll
Okay.
say that. So next, I wanted to go on. There's a video going around of Mike Martz, Super Bowl winning offensive coordinator for the Rams.
Rams, yes, great show on turf.
Yes, sir. So he broke down all of the interceptions. 9 of them were either on poor route running, or schematics, or a dropped interception by a receiver. So I
Yeah.
wanted to dig a little deep into that and think of why were the numbers behind it. I'm a numbers guy, so one thing I noticed was get open scores. It's a study with ESPN and 538. They do a little bit of numbers and stuff. Michael Gallup was 106 in the league in get open score. He was 106 in the league in yards per route. Noah Brown was 90th in get open score. He was 86 in yards per route run. So that makes me think so you dropping them, we've seen you drop picks. So Dak was 13th in the league in on target throw percentage. So what is that telling you? These receivers are not getting open, but even if they're not getting open, Dak's delivering the ball to them on target and dropping interceptions. So you got to help your quarterback. Your quarterback can't catch the ball for you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the whole narrative of he's injury prone, he's turnover prone. I don't know where that came from, because right now there's only 4 active starters with a career interception percentage better than Dak. We just need to get them help. I just want to run through those numbers real quick, get you guys' thoughts on that, and we go from there.
I think your numbers definitely they tell a story that Dak's at least slightly above average. And most of the time in the National Football League now, that's good. You know what I mean? That's winnable football. You can win a Super Bowl with that. Matthew Stafford led the league in picks and won Super Bowl a year earlier. I think at the same time that felt like an attack on Michael Gallup. But I'm an empty guy.
Let me start this by also saying I expect Michael Gallup to be way better. I mean, coming off of AC, I wasn't taking that as a shot at Michael Gallup. I think Michael Gallup's phenomenal. I think he's one of the better, 50-50 guys, Bojack swag all the way. Like, what I'm saying? Michael Gallup is a great player. Like that was nowhere near a shot at Michael Gallup. But we shouldn't have expected Michael Gallup to replace Amari Cooper coming off of a torn ACL. That's more of the point I'm making. So yeah, that was not an attack on Michael Gallup. Michael Gallup's a phenomenal player.
So yeah, I mean, I feel the same way as y'all. I would say Dak is clearly overrated. I think Derrick said, he's at least an above average quarterback. I think he's closer to elite than a lot of people realize. Mm-hmm. People like to make a lot of the interceptions he threw last year, and even even when looking at it through the lens of Coach Mike Martz, and even if you have an understanding of maybe this interception isn't totally on Dak, it doesn't really matter to me. Even when he was throwing picks, you are the number 1 or 2 offense in the league when Dak Prescott is under center. I don't even think people understand that. Literally, that's exactly what you want to ask from your quarterback. Can you drive the offense and have us be one of the better scoring offenses in the league? Dak had 15 interceptions last year. He threw 394 attempts. So his interception percentage is about 4. He throws an interception on 4% of his plays. You can't let 4% of his attempts in a game really tell the whole picture of what he is as a quarterback. When Dak Prescott isn't throwing picks, as far as last year, when Dak Prescott wasn't throwing picks, I mean, the ball is moving. It's not much. It's not like, we went through the season, and it's a game where Dak is struggling to move the ball, really having trouble sorting out protections and stuff like that. No, it's really, the ball, we don't have trouble moving the ball. We don't have trouble scoring. It's just, so many variables come into play when you talk about football, and it's the ultimate interdependent sport. So when you talk about the quarterback position, too much is made of the quarterback position. When you talk about winning football games.
Yep.
So I want to push the conversation here, y'all. So what we know what Lamar Jackson tailored to offense looks like, right?
Right.
We know what Patrick Mahomes' offense looks like, right? Do we know what Dak's offense looks like, or do we know what the Cowboys' offense looks like? Because I don't know to this point, besides 2016, have we seen what Dak's offense looks like. So I think, from the perspective of the quarterback, is what happens when Dak gets the offense and the play calling tailored around you.
Right.
And that we got 3 number ones and 2 running backs, and you were just I got mad a couple years ago when someone said Dak was a game manager. It was probably about a year and a half ago. I got pissed, right? But looking back on it, Dak's been a game manager because the coaching staff has made him a game manager. We have this playbook. I'm Kellen Moore. I got this real cool playbook. I want you to figure it out. Instead of sitting there and going, we're going to build the offense to tailor around your game, how you want to play, the routes you want to throw, where you're having good percentages, and where, you know what I mean? I think Dax had to conform a lot. His whole career has been him conforming, him playing up. And I want to see what that looks like for Dak to be able to play centered. 2016, I think they gave him the ability to, hey, we're going to run heavy. We're going to, do a lot of play action. You're going to know your reads. You know what I mean? I think if you can get a little bit of that going again, and that's why I'm starting to change a little bit to y'all's advice on going offensive line. I still feel like you have enough there already, but if you can get the offensive line to a place where Dak isn't feeling unnecessary pressure every single play, and you can succeed on first down. We've seen what Dak looks like on second and short, third and short. He's been amazing. But I think our problem on first down has killed us the last 3 or 4 years in a row. We are not efficient on first down, whether it's running Zeke up the middle for a 1-yard gain or it's throwing the ball to Dalton Schultz in the flat and getting 2 yards. We have gotten behind the chains consistently. I don't know what it is about Kellen's offense. And I see other teams not having those problems.
Yeah. And that's something I've always admired about like a Mike McCarthy offense. Ball control and managing your down the distance is paramount. It's more helpful to the quarterback to to call plays to help manufacture chain movers and just manufacture touches for your best players in space. So I think having more of that will help accentuate Dak's strengths. Whereas I think in the past they've been relying on Dak's strengths. They, as an offense, just like Tony Romo, they rely on Dak's ability behind the line of scrimmage to sort everything out and really be correct play after play after play. It affords an offensive coordinator a lot of leeway in not having to manufacture and really design touches for your best players. Because when you got a Tony Romo or Dak Prescott, as long as they can sort out the coverage, we can get the ball to our best players. Not really a problem.
Yeah, they watch too much Peyton Manning.
Yeah, also what Alex was saying too, I think a good point he made was too much relying on Dak. I don't care if it's Patrick Mahomes, Josh. You don't want to rely on your quarterback to do everything because that's only becomes a disaster. If we, like you said, if we get behind in the chains and we need Dak to come save us on 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9, 3rd and 10, like that's not playing smart football. You want to put your quarterback in position where he could play free instead of having to play Superman. Because if he's playing free, he will be Superman, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Right. And also to the point of 2016, this is going to be our first time in Dak's career with nobody on the offensive staff with a tie to the Jason Garrett era.
Yeah.
More Kellen Moore, no more Scott Linehan, no more any of those dudes. You know what I'm saying? And now we get to see him in probably not a brand new offense, but there's going to be some new aspects to it. And like Alex said, ball control is going to be, much different. Sometimes it's good to run up the score. We don't need to always run up the score. Sometimes it's better to play to the strength of your defense. Sometimes you know what I'm saying?
Right. You score points. You throw the ball to score, and you run the ball to win. Mm-hmm. And I think towards the end of the year last year, I think not through any. I don't think it's that Kellen Moore didn't try. I think the O-line configurations kind of made it hard to really put games away through the running game. So I think just having an alternate way to control the ball, and to control it down the distance, just through the West Coast short passing game, like you see Aaron Rodgers do for so many years. I mean, I think Aaron Rodgers probably has to be the most frustrating quarterback that I've ever played, that the Cowboys have ever played against. Because not only is he a problem, getting out of the pocket and all these off-schedule plays, it's that 90% of his plays, he's dropping back, and the ball is out within 2 seconds. So
Yeah.
I think having that for Dak Prescott is, I think, you know, I think you'll see his true value. Dak Prescott is, to me, without a doubt, one of the top 5 or 6 quarterbacks in the league.
I agree.
So, I don't think the Cowboys have allowed him, much like Justin Herbert. I don't think their teams have allowed them to really, play to that value.
Who's Justin Herbert?
Good luck, Justin.
Now.
Right. Good luck, Justin. He might be in for another 3 or 4 years of that. Yeah, guys. So I think the great points been made there. We talked a lot about the offensive changes. So now pushing this conversation a little further, getting to what Dak has around him and how he is going to be successful. Do we have what he needs now? This push into a draft conversation, I'm assuming at some point, but based on what's in the locker room right now, Brandon Cooks, the offensive line you have, Tony Pollard, is that enough to give Dak, Mike McCarthy calling plays, is that enough to give Dak the ability to be successful and get us to the promised land?
I believe so. I mean, think about it. I mean, when we lost Amari Cooper, we lost somebody who was known for running crisp routes and, getting separation. And I think that was a big thing lost, as I pointed out in those numbers, where we didn't have another guy who could get separation and make the quarterback's job way easier. And especially in the quick passing game, you need to get separation right away. You know what I'm saying? So if we get a separation right away, we're getting the ball in our play. How many people are as dangerous with the ball in their hand as CeeDee Lamb or Brandon Cooks? You know what I mean?
Nobody.
You know what I'm saying? So we get these playmakers the ball. We get them the ball quick. I mean, what more could you ask for? I mean, and then
so did y'all see CeeDee? Did y'all see CeeDee doing those running back drills?
Yeah,
that was, oh my goodness, that was my best. That was the best tape I've seen, like, of somebody working out in a long time. Like, you had your number one wide receiver doing running back drills, jump cuts. I'm like, what, dude? I've never seen that. You have your number one practicing yak, and so I think, from a perspective of what's around him, I think it's gonna feel like 19th offense with the run game. I think 19th offense passing wise was awesome. That's Dak most yards, and he almost threw 5,000 yards that year. He was explosive. You had Randall Cobb. I think Brandon Cooks is going to look a lot like Randall Cobb did. Randall Cobb was explosive, man. Randall Cobb was making plays down the field and, catching the ball and running with it. New England, he was a savior at some points, you know what I mean? So I think you're going to see this offense look a lot like 19. 19's offense lost their run game and lost 3 straight games twice. But besides those 2 blunders, the offense was really productive. I think you're going to see that very similar this year. I think you can see CeeDee taking the jumps and the strides that he needs to take as a player. I think year 1, he was a number 3. He was a slot guy. He was learning it. Year 2, he started to develop. But last year, from weeks 4 to the rest of the season, man, it was only probably one receiver to play better football. Tyreek Hill maybe was the only one that played better football than CeeDee Lamb going down the stretch there to me. I mean, he had 1,400 yards, 8 touchdowns, and he was dominating. He went to Green Bay and dominated. Philly came in there, he dominated them. He was set up to dominate against San Francisco. He was making plays. If he could have got the ball a little bit more, who knows what could happen. So I think for CeeDee and Dak, the relationship that they're having, I know you guys seen the picture at the Dak yard the other day, those guys getting to work. And I think I have this thing where I always talk about, like, most time the guys that have been good their whole lives kind of stay there. It's like T-Law. T-Law's been the best player at his age group his whole life. It's never been a 6-year-old that was better than him, an 11-year-old. Like, every time he moved up, he was the best. And I think you're going to see the same thing happen now. It's the same thing with CeeDee Lamb. He's taking the back seat to Jamar Chase. He's taking the back seat to Justin Jefferson. Some of these guys that he came out with, it's time for him to restake his claim. I'm CeeDee Lamb. I was that guy for a reason. And so I think CeeDee this year is gonna take another step up with the Brandon Cooks to be able to take some pressure off of him. And if in the draft you can get another playmaker in here that can be productive, oh my goodness. I mean, I think you may see him lead the league in yards, man. Because he had 14 quiet last year. He was getting 90 yards a game from weeks probably 9 through the rest of the season. He was getting like 90 yards a game. My parlays was up. I'm like, yeah, you can book CD 70 plus every game. He's getting it. So, I think Dak has enough. But I would love to see them address whether it's offensive line or running back. Get another playmaker in here. Like just give the offense that tweak. I think we might, go into a quick passing offense. And Dak being able to be a quick decision maker and his capabilities at the line of scrimmage to understand what's in front of him, like y'all said, like yo, he can read coverages like no one else. He's
Right.
been able to control the line of scrimmage. That look at me offense, Dak turned his back and he like, hey, yeah, throwing up gang signs.
For sure.
You see, when he's doing that, when we're in the hurry up, when we playing with tempo, we are always hitting. It's when they go sit back there and go call a dumb old play, an option route play that they sit there and throw a pick. But when he's moving, when we play with tempo, oh man, look at Dak probably got the highest percentage at the end of the half, like end of the first half, because we always go hurry up at that point, of course. Man, we score on probably like 50% of those drives.
2-minute Dak is my favorite Dak.
Yeah.
Tempo.
Yeah.
Tempo. So what do y'all think about the offense right now? State of the offense.
I would like to classify myself as an optimistic fan. I like to think glass half full most of the time, but within that, I try to make sure I have room to see what the downside could be. So as far as 2023 and the way it looks right now, I'm pretty optimistic about the pairing of Mike McCarthy and Brian Schottenheimer. I think those are two offensive minds that really coincide in terms of their ideology of football.
That's huge.
So
harmony,
right? And I think there's the only thing I can see going wrong is on that front is really either taking the ball out of Dak Prescott's hands, really depending too much on short throws, screens, and stuff like RPOs and stuff like that. I think doing too much of that stuff, you might find yourself taking the ball out of Dak Prescott's hands as far as controlling the line of scrimmage, like we said, and being a
decision maker.
Peyton Manning V2, Captain America. So that if that doesn't happen, the only thing I could take away from this offense is I would like a little bit more depth, because every year we come into the year and I don't have a doubt about the offense being at least a playoff caliber offense. As long as 4 is under center and you got CeeDee Lamb in there, they're always going to be a playoff caliber offense. So if you have a second receiver in, I think you should be a championship caliber offense. But having some depth is always where the straw breaks the camel's back with Dallas. You go into the playoffs and there's one injury to the O-line, it changes the look of everything. Or Michael Gallup tears his ACL going into the playoffs, it changes the look of everything. So I think you want to create a position group that is dominant and deep. And when
right?
You do that,
producers too, like
right.
And I think that's why the offensive line depth is so important.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's your best shot at having a dominant position group on offense. I think the offensive line as a run blocking group, if you had a left guard that really fit in as a power runner, downhill blocker, I think Dallas would, challenged as one of the best O-lines in the league. And I think that's all you really need, as you saw like in 2014, 2016. You have a pretty good quarterback like Prescott or Romo. Offensive line and pass rush on the other side of the ball is really all you need to contend for a championship.
Yeah.
I think that's to that point. I mean, you can only stack the O-line more. I don't care if Tyler Smith is starting at left guard or left tackle. Give me another left guard. Give me more interior depth. We've seen when O-line's it's a 17-week season. You add 3 or 4 more games for the playoffs. It's a war of attrition, man. You can't expect 320 pounds banging, going back and forth for 20 weeks and to stay completely healthy. It's not likely. So the more depth you can bring, if somebody's hurt 1 week, you don't want to force them back in to get hurt even more. Keep building that O-line depth.
And Nick made a point.
I just wanted.
Oh, go ahead, bro.
No, go ahead, man.
I was saying, Nick made a point. He was saying, the best version of Prescott is probably 2-minute Prescott, and I think right next to 2-minute Prescott is play action Prescott. When Dak Prescott is able to, when the Cowboys can run the ball well, Dak Prescott is able to manipulate you in the play action game and really turn around and fake a handoff. And it's a scary place to be as a defense because you're in there 3 linebackers, right? It's 3 linebackers versus, I don't care if it's 12 personnel, 11 personnel, you're switching personnels and sacrificing pass defenders against a player like Dak Prescott is not a good place to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think I totally agree with you. Yeah, I totally agree with you guys on, and when you combine play action Prescott and 2-minute Prescott, then you get something that looks like Tampa Bay. It looks like what, 4 or 5 touchdowns and 300 yards. For Dak, I mean, like you guys have said, it's just really about creating an environment that he can be successful in, man, and putting the offensive line in place where you can protect him, because when he gets hurt, we've seen the decision making be not as confident. You can tell when Dak's locked in versus, okay, this might not look good. I knew when that game winning drive in San Fran, we were not going 90 yards. It wasn't going to happen. You end up going 4 and out, 3 and out. You know what I mean? So I think you have to create a situation where he's comfortable, and I want to create a scheme that just stays ahead of the down and distance. And I think that's where the run game is so important for us. We got to stay ahead of down this. I do not want Dak in these long yard situations. It just hasn't been something that's been successful for us. I want Dak to be in 2nd and medium, 3rd and shorts consistently, because that's what the 49ers are doing. That's what the Eagles are doing. It's not Jalen Hurts is this crazy quarterback. They stay in 3rd and short.
Right.
They ran 6 quarterback sneaks in the Super Bowl.
Right.
Like, they just continue to stay ahead of them. That's your responsibility as a coordinator to me. Stay ahead of the down and distance. Don't let Dak get behind. Whatever you do, protect him on 1st down and guarantee 3 to 4 yards every 1st down. If you do that, we can go as far as we want to go. I love the O-line depth. I love the receiver depth. You can have T.Y. Hilton out there. You can just maintain, staying ahead of the chains. And that's not calling dumbass plays. Excuse me. You know what I'm saying? That's not, running up the middle every time. You know what I mean? That's getting the ball in CeeDee Lamb's hands consistently. And Mike has said something in his interview a couple weeks ago. Your ball distribution matters.
Yes.
That it matters so much. And I can tell from McCarthy that matters. He doesn't like how we had games last year where MG didn't have no catches. Or you had a playoff game last year and CeeDee Lamb had 1 catch.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think that shit is what makes him tick. And so I listened to him. He was so big. I just want this ball to be distributed the right way. And that's what Dak's good at. And so we talked about what does Dak's offense look like. And I think Dak's offense looks like an offense where you're getting the ball into everyone's hand. Dak, I think it was a game, it was 2016. Dak gave the ball to like 9 people.
Yeah.
And in a lot of Dak's best games, the ball distribution is immaculate. Everyone has 3 or 4 catches. You know what I mean? That's why you kind of want to make sure you can get the Dalton Schultz replacement, whether it's in-house or throughout the draft, because you want to be able to make sure he can target the tight end position consistently. So he's not forced to throw outside every play. You know what I mean? And if you can, match the offensive scheme to what Dak wants to do as a quarterback or as a player, I think, our offense can go anywhere. And then you don't have these conversations if Dak's a leader or not, because the Cowboys going to win 13 games.
Yeah.
I don't care if you think he's the leader, average or bad. If we continue to win 12 or 13 games every season and we can get a game closer to that one we need to win, hey, man.
Right.
At this point, it's just all
Nick, you
about
had something?
I mean, to the point of winning. I mean, they've shown that they can win. Now let's take that next step.
Right.
He's the guy that can do that, I think.
I agree. So let's switch sides. So we talked about the offense, and we got a special surprise. I think we already mentioned that we're going to do a little mock draft here, a 3-round mock at the end of the show. So to kind of prep for that, we talked about the necessities on offense. So let's see what Al does in round 1, knowing that, we have these certain needs on offense. Defense, what are you guys thinking? I can kind of start there. Defense for me is in a great place. This is probably the most fun I've had with being a Cowboy fan my whole life. It's having a good defense. Like I can remember when we had Ratliff and Spencer and Canny and Ware. That was a good time, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And Roy and those guys, you know, the late 2000s was fun, but we've never had something like this. And where the mind of the coordinator matches the personality of the defenders. And now they're just working together where, hey, we can go cover zero, all out blitz, and everyone's all in except for AB. So, you know what I mean? So I think for me, for me, you know, bringing in a Gilmore, you know, bringing back LV with the pieces that we already have. I think we have some aging pieces like a D-Law. We have some aging pieces like the back end, and you may have to do some things with Malik Hooker, and if they can't be super productive. But I'm excited for where we are. I think we have structure on the defense, and you're missing one playmaker, Drew Sanders. You're missing one playmaker. And if you get that one playmaker here, opposite of Michael Parsons, opposite of Trayvon Diggs, and you can put him in the middle, and you can say, hey, we need you to, that's your domain, be Fred Warner, run up the seam, hit
Yeah.
everything that crosses your face, will be dominant. We don't have that. We do not have one that can carry the tight end up the seam. In my opinion, we don't have one that if that something crosses your face, you lay it out. We don't have that. Now we have some guys that can play their role and maintain their gap integrity and do some things there. But I want to see a playmaker in the middle, whether it's D tackle or right behind them at MLB or strong. So I'm really confident where the defense is, but I would love to see another playmaker get at it, and that's why I've been so big on, hey, let's draft defense. You can draft it twice if you want to, just don't pick a corner. So where you guys at?
Michael Parsons for MVP this year, man. I think that's where we need to go. I think that's the next step for this defense. I think Micah, it's time for him to take the baton as the best defender in the league.
Yeah.
And it's time for his supporting cast to enable him to do so. I think we need guys like Sam Williams in his second year to step up and really, you know, if we want to be the team that we think we can be, I think we need a guy like him to step up and really be a guy that threatens double-digit sacks, because I think that's certainly in his potential in his second year.
Yeah.
Linebacker, I feel you at linebacker. I do think that's what Dallas is missing as far as, you know, to be considered like an elite defense, like LOB or, you know, like the 49ers or something like that. I think that middle of the field presence is it's important to have as far as the consistency of your defense. I think that's the one thing I take away from the 49ers. They're very consistent because the heart of their defense is solidified. The middle of the field is the hardest thing to attack on the 49ers. Most teams protect the sidelines very well, but this team, we don't really need to protect the sidelines all that well because the pass rush is really deterring you from getting the ball out to the sidelines with efficiency, and the middle of the field is just on lock.
Right. So, then you run cover three all day.
I feel what you're saying. Drafted I hope we do stumble into a linebacker, but drafting a linebacker in the first round, it's always sketchy for me because, you know, Fred Warner himself, he's like a third-round pick. Darius Leonard's second-round pick. Normally, unless it's like a Roquan Smith that comes around, you know, I think normally a linebacker is always tough to get that guy to play to the value of the slot that you drafted him at in the first round. I think of a guy like Tremaine Edmonds. Like, this guy was supposed to be like the next Brian Urlacher when he was drafted. You know what I'm saying? And not to say he's not a good player, but I think, you know, there's other players in his draft that went in second and third round that, you know, that either equal the value or, you know what I'm saying? But Drew Sanders, I checked up on Drew Sanders. You kept saying his name. I looked into it. That's not just no linebacker, man. That's not just no any ordinary dude. Yeah. That's a Dan Quinn special, man. So if you can get a Drew Sanders, you count me in.
Don't let him be there at 58. I'm sorry, guys. We're gonna talk through it, but we're gonna talk through it, but I'm gonna hit the button. Nick, what about you, man? What you think about the defense?
First, I wanna challenge your point, Derrick. I think we got somebody that takes them tight ends, man. I think J-Ron Kearse. We saw that he's played some good coverage on tight ends, man. I think I like that. position if I could have a dream scenario right now where I could add anybody to the defense, I don't have a specific name, but I got a specific position. I would add a free safety that could hold down center field, make plays on the ball when they're in the air. Now that we have Gilmore and Diggs, and I would consider moving on from Malik Hooker if we could find that guy.
Bow, bow, bow,
I don't
bow.
know
Wow.
if we can find that guy because how many free safeties in the league right now are really doing that? But
Yeah.
I think Malik Hooker has been great. I think he's, not great, but good enough to be on keep a starting position, everything. But I think that next level is somebody like a Justin Simmons, somebody that could play the ball in center field and make plays on the ball. Now, especially we got 3, potentially 4 dudes that stingy to play any coverage. Let's get a dude when you throwing at him, and we bat that ball in the air. Let's get that dude that is right there all the time and put himself in the right position all the time.
Do y'all think Malik Hooker's playing in position?
Yeah.
No, just quick question. Do y'all think I think he's been asked to do something. Like his first year, he was playing linebacker a little bit, just tackling and shit. This year, I think that you are allowing him, like last year, I think he was able to play a lot more safety. He made some plays. Yeah. I would love to see him be able to be rangy Malik Hooker. I don't think he gets allowed to do that. We never see him in range playing there, and I would like to see if he gets the opportunity, what that looks like. You know what I mean?
I do wonder if that's more of the coach. I tend to think Coach, especially Dan Quinn, knows his limitations, and I wonder if that has to do with knowing his limitations for real. Because you see Dan Quinn put, I've noticed Dan Quinn puts everybody in position to succeed. It ain't about his scheme. You know what I'm saying? It's like, could Micah play off-ball linebacker this week? Yes. If he can't play it that week, he's not going to play it that week because he knows that's going to be the weakness of the defense. You know what I'm saying? So I wonder if that has to do with more of Dan Quinn sees that as his weakness, or if he just isn't. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, he's just not asked to do it enough.
I think he sees the safety room as 3 guys that can do all 3 jobs equally. I think he views all those guys interchangeably, and I think that's something that helps as far as disguising. Pre-snap, really not knowing. You can't. It helps to not have a quarterback have a full picture, to be sure what the picture is going to look like pre-snap and post-snap. So I think, ideally, I think practically you want Malik Hooker to be your roof safety like 80%, 70% of the time. But I think all 3 of those guys are interchangeable enough to where you can, you can switch it up just to give a defense an unsure look. But this year, I think we're going to be playing so much cover 1 that I think you will see Malik Hooker in that free safety spot, because that's just what the personnel is built to do.
That's a good point, because I think now that they got 3, even 4 if you count Jordan Lewis, you got 4 dudes that can stick you man on man, get up in your chest, and then we'll have our center field safety. So maybe it is him. Hopefully he could be that. But if I could get a call from somebody saying they trying to move a free safety, you could talk me out of moving a pick.
It would depend on the guy for me. I think I got a lot of problems for Malik. I don't know if I'm still looking at Ohio State, and that's why I'm like, hey. But I think he can make the plays. I would like to see him. We haven't seen Malik Hooker being able to do yet. We've seen him tackling a lot. If y'all want to see him be the ceiling guy and protect the back end of this defense and see how it looks. Because I think he has the potential to do it. I mean, unless the speed is a problem, I think he could do it, man. You know what I mean? That coach game, he showed you he still had a little wiggle to him. He took 2 little returns. So I'm excited to see him. There's a couple guys. I don't watch safety much because we got 3 of them. But Jair Brown, I think Brown from Penn State, fire kid. And there's another one from Florida State, smaller. He's like 5'10", 5'9".
I know you're talking about. His name's
nice too. I think so. Or Ronnie. He's even.
I know you're talking about.
Yes. Maybe, Robinson. I think so. Yeah. So, for me, I'm cool on safety this year just because you can really improve other places. But like you said, if you do get a call about Justin Simmons, that might be an X factor. So,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So, fellas, what y'all think? Y'all ready to get into this mock?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. So, we're going to break down what we're doing. So, we're going to do a 3-round mock on PF's paywall mock draft. You taking the first round, right? So, you got 26?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to take 58. Nick's going to take 90. No trades because I'm not giving them my money. And let's go. All right, guys. So let's get into this mock, man. Let's see what we got. All right, Nick, go ahead and start it.
All right, bet. All right, here we go.
Nice. Let's see. Who went first? I didn't even get to see it. Thing go fast enough.
Bryce Young.
Bryce, of course. Cansey's gone. Miles Murphy's gone. Thank the Lord.
All right, here we go.
Nice.
Round one.
Here we go.
All right.
Let's see if you want to see more of your options.
Al McClay, you were on the board.
All right. So I'm
Bijan.
gonna write down our draftable names at this point. So I know we got Bijan here. That's one. Okay. We like Zay Flowers.
Yeah.
I like Zay.
Play.
Like
I like Felix too, man.
That Jordan
Felix
was that Jordan Addison?
Yeah, that was Jordan Addison.
Yeah, Addison was there.
Okay. Let's add him. This is Mozzie Smith.
Mozzie Smith, yeah.
Mozzie.
Osiris.
Let's see.
Yeah, I think we get into the reaches now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where's Avila?
Big reach.
Avila,
yeah.
That's about it.
Avila. And
what about Broderick? Would y'all Jones? Did Jones
that's
have
who
some
I was
position
about
flex?
to throw. Yeah, I was about to throw him into the conversation. Broderick Jones.
Yeah.
I don't foresee him being there, but if he's there, he's definitely in the conversation for me.
Nice.
You got Mayer too, if you want to consider tight end.
Yeah, Mayer Michael, man, that's my boy.
Okay, let's throw Mayer in. Okay. All right. So,
what's your thoughts?
So at this position, I'm thinking I want to add an impact starter that I project to be here through the rest of Dak Prescott's tenure and be at least a good starter on either side of the ball. So
I would assume you're taking Bijan out in that situation.
This is what I think we should do. I'm gonna ask y'all what y'all preferences at this pick, and if y'all sway me, then that's who I'll select.
Nice.
And if I'm not swayed, then I'll go ahead and select.
You go first, Derrick.
Who I'm going to take here? Let's go Robinson. Let's go Robinson just because he's the best player on the board. I think I like Jones just from a value standpoint. Michael Mayer is someone who, if the Cowboys decide that tight end is a pickable position for them, then I like him. But if we're not picking tight end, then there's no reason to grab him. The receivers are cool, but I like to let y'all know. I think that's a position for us. Like you said, you want impact player. I think if impact is the key word, Bijan is the flashing light there.
All right, who you got, Nick?
I think I've changed my stance on offensive guard, and I will pick Osiris Torrance instead of Stephen Villa.
Osiris Torrance?
Ooh.
Why you so all right, we'll do this. Sell me on Osiris over Avila.
So I think coming out of Florida, he was at, where was he again last year? Louisiana? Was it Louisiana he was at? And I think going from that small of a school to the SEC, looking at it, you've seen, one, a lot of improvement. Two, that he could match up in NFLB. And three, dude, he's just physical. The only thing I will worry about with Osiris is he's only played the right side. So I do kind of worry about moving him to the left, where Steve has more flexibility.
Right.
But I think showing that he's improved, showing that he could play in the SEC, very physical. I'm gonna have to choose Osiris. Yeah.
All right. So at this point,
Mr. McClay.
I'm down to 3 players. I'm down to Avia.
Mm-hmm.
I'm down to Bijan. And Osiris is close, but I'm go with Broderick over Osiris.
Yeah, I can see that. That's definitely more. I mean, if he's there, definitely better pick.
For sure.
That's the only reason I didn't say Broderick, because I don't think he's gonna be there.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna be there either. So for the sake of the exercise, I'll narrow it down to Bijan and Avia.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go. This is tough because as much as I talk about not picking the running back, I understand how good a player Bijan is, and I think we all be excited to see him on Sundays in Dallas. But I'm gonna be true to my thoughts as far as the outlook of the Cowboys. I think picking O linemen always go good for the Cowboys. I think stabilizing the offensive unit and really making sure the offensive line is stout is paramount. So I'm gonna go with Via.
All right.
Nice. All right. 126. Steve Avila, man. Let's go. Bring him home.
Where'd he go?
Bring him home. We're gonna get an F for that
jerseys. Nobody gonna get that first round jersey. Let's see what we got. What's coming up?
Let's go, man. Mozzie's gone. Laporta's gone. Gibbs is gone. Sanders is gone. That's heartbreaking.
Wow. Damn. I was hoping he was there, bro.
Nice. All right, so we got some decisions to make. Let's see what we got. John Michael Schmidt, Wilson, DJ Turner.
Zach.
Ooh. Go down a little bit lower. Let me see what else we got.
Hey, they better not do this. We edited. Hold up, man. All right, let's see.
A-Chain's there. Jamie Robinson. Yeah, there's a guy. Ooh, there we go. Okay. All right. Let me think. All right. So now I got to process this through the lens of what we did in the first round. So now you targeted the guard position. I would love to get a running back here, but I don't know if I have the value. Zach Charbonnet to me doesn't give you the value of a second round running back, to be honest, just the upside. I like Darnell Washington a lot. I think for me, just looking at the board right now, the big three is, because you want to get a playmaker at this point, is Darnell Washington, Devon A-Chain, and Jalen Hyatt, even though I love Trent Simpson too, man. Oof. We'll go ahead and I'll let you guys sell me on who you guys would pick here, and then I'll see if you guys can help me figure something out.
I know my answer.
Go ahead, Nick.
I'm picking Darnell Washington here because I'm telling you, Steve Avila, we're gonna bring Darnell Washington. We going up to San Francisco and we gonna kick y'all ass. Like, we gonna real live put y'all in the dirt. Not by finesse. We gonna get physical. We gonna run it on you. We gonna pancake you all game. We gonna throw you around, and we gonna be the big dogs now.
Yeah, I like Darnell. Yeah, go ahead, Derrick.
Nah, Darnell's fire. I like that. What you got?
I was gonna say I like Darnell too. I think he's in the conversation up at the top. I believe I saw Keanu Benton, and I think that's a defensive tackle that I think has the kind of upside that you want, as far as a guy that could be play from 1 tech to 3 tech. And I think within like 2 or 3 years, I think he could at least turn into the kind of good starter that Osa is.
Yeah,
that's a minimum, in my opinion.
You said what?
That's a minimum, in my opinion, with Benson.
Yeah, I like Benton a lot. I'm between those two, and I think
what's his measurables? Where's he at?
Show you one here.
Let me see.
See what we got.
PFF make you pay for everything. You make you pay for the height and weight now.
You go first look.
Got it.
Yeah, go over the first look.
What is
You gotta
it?
switch the tabs. Yeah. First look. You see right there? Nah, down. You see how I say stats,
Stats
trends,
is.
analysis. Yeah,
Yeah.
first look. Yeah, okay. 6'4", 309 is huge. Jesus Christ. 21 years old. Okay. Okay. Nice. Nice. All right, man.
Uh,
All right. Let me see. So what else say?
This is
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
like.
A chain.
This is what I
What
like.
do
You
you have to
got
think about Devon A chain?
I like him. I like him as a runner. I think he's a. I think as a compliment to Tony Pollard, though, I think it would be a lot of maybe too much finesse because I think there's two guys that want to hit the home run. That's their goal is to hit the home run every play. I think you need somebody who's going to consistently grind to change to compliment Tony Pollard.
Yeah, I was gonna say that too. I think Tony can run between the tackles, but I think we need somebody who, like I just said, going up to San Francisco, I'm gonna meet Fred Warner in the A gap and I'm gonna bust his head.
Right.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go Hyatt, man.
Hyatt?
You gonna hire?
I'm gonna go Hyatt, man. Yeah, for the
Or
same
Steve?
reason that we want to go Flowers and all those guys in the first round. I think Hyatt at the second round would be tremendous value, and to get a guy like that to get a speeder in the receiving core, I think would definitely help us stretch the field. I do like the Darnell Washington thing, but I've talked about before my apprehension with that. I do love the blocking, but just go put another tackle out there if we're not going to get no pass catching. So you know what I mean? Like I don't know.
How the hell is Hendon Hooker here? What the fuck?
Pick him, do it. Have some guts.
You want
Dak episode? Pick Hendon Hooker.
linebackers right here. Dorian Williams can play.
Yeah, he can. He hits hard.
Corey Trice.
That's my boy right there.
Well, Corey Trice can play.
Kendra.
I think I know who I want. Let's keep looking though. Yeah.
He's going Tajay.
Marvin Mims. All right. Who y'all think here? Who would y'all think right here?
Whew.
Kendra.
Think so?
Kenjay Miller, phenomenal. 17 touchdowns. That's my guy.
Yeah, Kendrick could play. But and we don't need it. Darius Rush.
Oh my God, he's picking the corner.
Darius Rush calling my name, man. Let's see.
6'2". He's 6'2", right?
This is the Dan Quinn dream right here. Let's see. 6'2", 198.
Yeah.
18
Yeah.
picks and pass breakup. What about, you know what else I like right here too is Trice and Dorian Williams. I like Dorian Williams. He can hit too. He'll hit you.
Is your boy Pace on the board?
Who?
Ivan Pace.
Ivan Pace?
Is he on the board? Let's see. Like Pace. Yep.
Oh, okay. Decisions. Go ahead, McClay. What you got for me?
What you thinking, dear Alex?
I haven't really seen the play that I would target in the third round yet. Let me see. I'm trying to look at who's gone off the board recently, like for the previous 5 picks.
Kobe Turner, A.T. Sidney Brown. God.
It took
Mark
AT.
Phillip, Tank Bigsby. I took Tank Bigsby. I ain't gonna lie.
So we took a receiver and an O lineman. So yeah, I think I want to go defense at this point.
I'm thinking Ivan Pace, Dorian Williams, or Darius Rush. What about you? What y'all thinking? Yeah.
What about the Texas D lineman?
Ojimo, he can play.
Yeah.
He could play. Yeah. Let's look at his. Let's look at his measurables for real. I think that'll. Only thing I'm worried about is seeing more of 1 year of real production with him.
90 grade though. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
5 sacks. He's getting back there. Wow. Okay. B gap. So it's a lot of 3 tech.
Yeah. Yeah, a little bit. I mean, he could play inside. Both sides. Both 1
What
and
was his
3.
height and weight?
What was that?
What was his height and weight?
It was you said the tight end?
No, his height and weight.
Oh, my bad.
No, you go, bro. What do we have here?
6'3", 292.
6'3", 292. That's tall, man.
That's
That's tall
kind of
in there.
an Osa like though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
KJ Henry's nice. I don't know if I'm taking him here though, but I would take him here. He's worth the pick, but not for what we really need. If that makes sense.
Yeah. I feel like you go what you think, man. I'm very open to solving a problem at this position at 90.
Let me get Ivan Pace.
Nice.
I'm gonna go Ivan Pace right here. Maybe a little bit of
we picked him. Yeah, they said we picked him 30 spots too early. I think the word of Jalen Hyatt, man. I know, that was like kind of interesting, but I just think that you can get Jalen Hyatt at 58. That may look at their ads. Look at this. Get this out of here. this BS. They don't even grade our picks anymore, man. I see you Friday, PFF. I see you Friday when you make the whole thing free again. I'm gonna do 110.
I know they definitely gonna make it free soon. That's why I haven't even thought of a free trial.
I'll tell you one thing Hyatt would do.
It was free last Friday.
I think Hyatt would make them a more efficient team as far as creating big plays. I don't think it would be as hard to make a big. I don't think you have to force a big play to happen with some field stretcher like Hyatt and Cooks on the field.
Yeah, I agree. And I think he's.
And then if you had them MG problems.
Yeah.
You have those MG problems too.
Behind Cooks, in my opinion, too.
Right.
Yeah. I see, like even like to that point, Al, like if you run into a problem when you have Darnell Washington, and you still may have that big play problem. Like he may not fix that problem for you. He'll make you a more bruised and punishing team, but you have to decide that that's what we are now, all the way through. Where Avila is going to make the pass protection, give Dax a clean pocket. The passing game might go through the roof. We still didn't address running back, but I think a guy like Kendre Miller or Tajay Spears or McBride, somebody's going to be there in the 4th round. So you'll be able to attack running back after these picks.
Yeah, you could always call up somebody in June if you need to. You still got Malik Davis on the roster. They don't have Zeke. Yeah, that's definitely possible. I don't think they have to force a running back pick. As long if they can address the O-line, I think as long as you get somebody with 2 legs that's able to run, you're gonna be all right.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, man. Y'all comment below, man. What y'all think about our mock? What you think?
I like the mock.
I want to get your opinion on what you think about the whole.
Yeah, I like the mock. I like Ivan Pace. I'm looking at his measurables right now. Looking at his player profile. Seems like a good, athletic linebacker that can add some versatility to the group. Jalen Hyatt, I think he adds his value to the receiver group is obvious. I think just add another field stretcher, add another big play player, something that the offense has been lacking. I think if he can come in, if you draft him, he can come in and be Cedric Wilson, and I think that's a success.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
I think me and Nick are on the same page. I think we think of Darnell Washington the way we do because of the way a team like the 49ers win. I think people make a lot of the playmakers they have, Chris McCaffrey, Debo, George Kittle, but the superpower of the 49ers is their ability to win at the point of attack on offense. There's so many different body types that just have an inherent advantage at the point of attack, whether it be huge chick, in the hole or out on the edge and wide zone. George Kittle lining up versus a linebacker or a defensive end. Trent Williams on the left tackle. Like the point of attack is always taken care of with the 49ers, and I think that's the most important trait that makes them successful in terms of consistently moving the ball and staying on down and distance. And I think that's something that we just want to replicate for ourselves, because Dallas is the way we see it. Like they want to play the way that the 49ers play. That's how they see themselves. So,
Yeah.
James Washington pick would. I think James Washington is a player. I mean, not James Washington, Darnell Washington.
Look at the Cowboys. They got you hypnotized. They talking about
Please
James
don't bring
Washington.
James Washington back.
Nightmares. James Washington.
Please don't bring James Washington back.
Yeah, Darnell Washington. I think he's a player. He's not for every team.
Yeah.
But if you're a team that just likely to hand the ball 25 times a game and really be under center, I think there's a role for him on your team. Year one.
Nice.
I like the point you're making because just off the fact that, I mean, do y'all fear Philly? Let's be real. I think Philly's good too, but do y'all fear Philly? Do y'all fear going into Philly? I think they're a good team. I don't. Y'all
not with Dak Prescott under center.
Right. In the past couple of years, have you gone into San Francisco with the utmost confidence?
No.
If you can go into San Francisco and know that you could beat them at the line of scrimmage, would it make you feel better?
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that's been the issue the past couple of years, just get out physical, And to your point about how San Francisco plays, you see Brandon Ayuk as some lanky dude, but he's one of the better run blockers of all the receivers in the NFL.
He get busy. He get busy.
Like, them dudes, they receivers have – Kyle Shanahan has a type. He wants you to be able to get yards after the catch, but he also wants you to be able to block.
Right.
Yeah.
The more blockers, the more physicality, the better on this team at this point.
Yeah, no, I agree. I like our mock. I think that we addressed the offensive line situation that we talked about, and I didn't want you to pick Bijan. I ain't gonna lie to you. I did not want you to pick Bijan. I'm like, don't do it just because I want to. We address team this episode, and let's fix some of those holes that we've talked about. So I liked how we went guard. I think the big play. I think we can beat San Francisco at our game too. So that's why I agree with Jalen Hyatt. We can beat them playing the way we want to play, and if we have more big plays than they do, then we can beat them. We just haven't been able to get big plays against them in 8 quarters. We have a CeeDee Lamb catch. That's it, and a Amari Cooper touchdown. Those are your only 2 big plays. You haven't intercepted them at all yet, and you haven't been able to have a long touchdown besides the Amari Cooper play and the CeeDee Lamb catch. So if you can generate some big plays and not let them say, hey, we're going to sit at 10 yards and y'all throw everything underneath, and you can put a hide out there and now they're terrified, I think you can scare them on the outsides. And if Fred Warner's not guarding Jalen Hyatt up the team, not going to happen. So, good night.
I think the O-line, improving the O-line gives more opportunity for a guy like Jalen Hyatt to make plays in a game like that. I think if you upgrade the O-line, it just creates more space and more time. And that's really all football is a game of inches, but it's also a game of seconds. And so you can offer another second to your receivers, to your quarterback, is going to make that much more of a difference.
Yeah.
And a guy like Hyatt also helps out the offensive line because he gets quick separation too. So
quick separation, yeah.
And that's any of the separating guys. Speed.
Play action.
Yeah. So that's going what it is to cover out for more than 2-3 seconds,
Yeah. No facts.
Hard.
And last point before we head up out here. I was gonna pick A-Chain. I was super close. When I saw him, I was like, I might go A-Chain because we already went guard. Let's just, go running back. But the whole redundancy kind of aspect that you gave me was like, okay, no, not him. Don't want to go Darnell. If you do go Darnell, that's because you went Bijan in the first round to me.
Right.
But if you go guard and then go, it's like, that's redundant to me. We're trying to solve the same problem. Let's solve that problem and let's get explosive here. Let's be a better run blocking team, a better pass blocking team, as well as be able to go deep as well. So yeah, man, good deal, guys. Great show, man. And this is awesome. So we're gonna try to maybe do a couple mock drafts before we get to the end of the season here. We got 2 weeks, man. So it was a pleasure, rocking out with y'all boys and fans. Thank y'all for tuning in again. We're on episode 4. We just hope we're getting better, man. Give us some positive criticism, some negative criticism, and just help us to grow, man. We're trying to grow, get better at this thing, and take it as far as that we can go, man. All right, fellas. Anything I got to say to the people?
Man, just 2 more weeks, man. We got 2 more weeks until we figure out what this next batch of Cowboys is, and I'm sure, everybody's gonna look forward to seeing those guys on Sunday. So I'm excited.
Yeah, hopefully I can get out to training camp too. That's my goal this year. So want some of them young boys.
Oxnard, let's plan it, man. I'm gone with you. Let me know.
We're gonna figure something out.
All right, fellas. Basement Nation, Cowboy Nation, lock in. We'll see y'all, man.
Salute.